Imagine being chosen by God to lead an entire nation to freedom. How would you react? Would you feel reverence? Fear? And what if, even after being called to this great mission, you made mistakes that almost cost you everything? Welcome to the Millennial Wisdom Channel, where we explore the deepest mysteries and teachings of the Scriptures, bringing valuable reflections for your spiritual journey. In today's video, we will analyze the 5 mistakes of Moses and the powerful lessons we can learn from each of them. These lessons can transform the way you view leadership, obedience, and your spiritual purpose. Stay with us until the end because there are revealing truths that may change your life. Moses was one of the greatest leaders in the Bible, but his journey was full of failures and challenges. And one of these mistakes prevented him from entering the Promised Land. Do you know which one? And what can we learn from it? Keep watching because, throughout this video, you will discover that even the most extraordinary leaders teach us valuable lessons, often through their own mistakes. Moses witnessed unparalleled miracles, received the 10 Commandments directly from God, and led an entire people through the desert. However, his path was also marked by moments of difficulty and lessons that he did not always manage to fully grasp. First lesson: the importance of patience. Moses was called to lead, but his impatience often compromised his mission. A clear example of this occurred when God commanded him to speak to the rock so that water would flow from it, but instead, Moses struck it with his staff. This act of disobedience had a severe consequence. He was not allowed to enter the Promised Land. Now think, how many times have you acted impulsively and disregarded God's timing? Second lesson: the importance of delegation. While leading the people, Moses tried to handle everything on his own, carrying a burden that could have been shared. He was his father-in-law, Jethro, who gave him wise advice to divide responsibilities to make his leadership more effective. Despite learning this lesson, he did not always apply it in every area of his leadership. Do you struggle to ask for help? How could your life improve if you trusted more in the people around you? Third lesson: the danger of doubt. Even after witnessing extraordinary miracles, Moses had moments of hesitation. When God called him to free the people, he hesitated, claiming that his difficulty in speaking was a reason not to take on the leadership role. Now reflect. How many times has God placed a great opportunity before you, but fear or insecurity made you hesitate? Are you allowing your limitations to prevent you from fulfilling a greater purpose? Fourth lesson: emotional control is essential. Moses had a strong temperament. When he descended from Mount Sinai and saw the people worshiping the golden calf, he, overcome with fury, broke the tablets of the law. His indignation was understandable, but it showed that he did not always control his emotions in the face of adversity. Have you ever lost control in moments of tension? What were the consequences of that? How could your life be different if you learned to act with more serenity in the face of challenges? Fifth lesson: we may not always see the final outcome. This is perhaps the hardest lesson of all. Moses led the people to the border of the Promised Land, but he was not allowed to enter. He glimpsed the destination but did not reach it. This teaches us that, many times, we need to be faithful to our calling even without seeing the final results. Now think about your own journey. How many times have you felt that you were close to achieving a goal, but something prevented you from reaching it? Have you allowed impatience, doubt, or lack of emotional control to divert you from the path God has set for you? Imagine yourself in Moses' place, looking at the Promised Land from a distance but unable to step into it. How would you react? Are you ready to accept that, in some cases, the role God has for you is to prepare the way for others to reap the rewards? Moses' mistakes do not diminish his greatness. On the contrary, they show us that God chooses human, imperfect leaders to carry out divine plans. Moses was one of the greatest leaders in biblical history, but his journey proves that even the chosen ones have much to learn along the way. This brings us to an essential question. Are you learning from the challenges God has placed in your life? Or are you repeating the same mistakes? And the most impressive thing is that Moses was not the only great biblical leader to go through such trials. Do you want to know who else faced similar challenges and what we can learn from them? Watch the video, 5 Lessons from David, the king who almost lost everything. You will be surprised by the parallels between the journeys of these two men who left their mark on history. The life of Moses teaches us that great callings require great learning. Even if we face failures or do not see the final outcome, God has a greater plan for each of us. Now we want to know, which of these lessons impacted you the most? Leave your comment below and share your experience. It might help others on their spiritual journey. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Millennial Wisdom channel, and turn on notifications to continue receiving life-transforming content. See you in the next video.